So software plus service is not just about moving some of your application services to the cloud. It is also what we can call an integrated experience. As I said before, we are all using different devices. You're using a mobile phone, maybe a notebook, desktop PC. Now, one of the issues that consumers as well as business users have is, how do you keep your data current with all these different devices? I typically use my private example. I'm using photos quite a bit, or I'm making a lot of photos now. One of the issues I have is I never know where the most current version or the most current set of my photos are, because I take photos with my mobile phone, I take photos with my camera, and I download photos from my friends through the internet on my PC. So I have multiple sources where photos are coming, and sometimes it's hard for me to figure out where's the latest version of the photo that I took from my little daughter. Now, what we are working on is to provide a platform in the internet as a service where you can basically synchronize all of your data, no matter on which devices this sits. And this is already in use. There's a beta version of what we call Windows Live Mesh. It's an internet service that connects your different devices, meaning your mobile phone, your notebook PC, your private desktop PC, or even your camera. And you just declare how these photos, in this case, this data is being synchronized. As soon as you connect your mobile phone, the service will look into your phone and sees if there's new photos and load it up to the mesh, and at the same time synchronizes other photos down to your mobile device, so you have one view. Now imagine the same thing for businesses, where you have multiple customer data sitting on different devices. Using one service in the internet that basically synchronizes all of that data would be a fantastic thing moving forward. So software plus service is not just about moving application type services to the internet, it's also an integrated experience that we can provide. Why is everyone so excited about cloud computing these days? Well, the reason why is because typically businesses have looked into IT for single purposes, and they scaled IT pretty much on the basis of where the business itself is heading. Meaning, the moment you were trying to expand, you were adding capacity to your IT. Now, if the demand changed, you needed to change the investment at the same time. You can imagine how much capital that really was bounding, because in the end, think about a consumer type business that has some seasonality spikes. In this case, if you have holiday seasons, you need a larger capacity of how you connect to customers through the internet. Now, what you typically would need to do is you would take additional servers, additional storage, additional access to the internet to scale up. That, of course, costs money, and that restricts your ability to scale in other dimensions. So using cloud computing in such a case means you don't buy that capacity and you don't install that capacity yourself, but you're using it as a service from someone that is provisioning that through the internet. So with that, you're basically externalizing your IT, and you can start to engage all across the web. You can reduce the capital footprint, and as we all know, in these economy times that we are going through, cash is king, or in other words, the more we can help to bring down the capital footprint that it takes to run IT, the better we are off. And this is why we think also in our region, cloud computing and software plus service can play an important part to help economies to strive through these troubled times. Now, we want to go a bit beyond just providing applications through the internet as a service. In fact, we do believe that there's more in it for an economy such here as in Serbia. And I was reminded by the presentation that Minister Matic did this morning that there is a lot of creative potential here in Serbia, meaning a lot of people who have great ideas how to run a business or how to create new businesses in Serbia or even abroad from Serbia, meaning connecting to other economies. One of the boundaries that you might have if you are, let's say, a small business here in Serbia is, what do you do to take your business online and reach out not just to customers here in Serbia, but probably across the region? You would need to invest yourself in making that access to the internet, build up capacity, and develop an application by provisioning yourself application servers and storage. And one part that we are working on with our partners moving forward is to create a platform called Azure. Now this, if you think about it, is a sort of an operating system in the internet. So if you're a small developer and you have a great business idea that you want to deploy, you no longer need to take care about the IT infrastructure that it takes to run an application or a business yourself, but you can basically move that to our platform. And with that, it can easily scale. Because in the end, you can start with probably 20, 30, 40 users. And if you're successful, and within a few weeks, you're scaling up to thousands of users, you can do that because it sits on a scalable platform that is being hosted by either Microsoft or one of our partners. Even one step more, if you're a developer and you have a great idea for a business that you want to take to the internet, sometimes it's hard for you to take care of all the, let's say, required components for an internet scenario or internet application. Think about things like exchange, things like communication. You would want to have probably a scenario where consumers can contact you. You want to have a scenario or a service where you can run database queries to look up certain things on your product catalog, for example. Or you want to offer a platform that can integrate suppliers into your application. Now, with the Azure Services Platform, our belief is it would be much better if a developer doesn't need to take care about that nitty-gritty detail, if you will, and develop it themselves, but let Microsoft do that for them so that they can concentrate on what is really adding value, which is the core business idea that they have and the business principles that they want to build out as part of their offering. So in the end, we do believe that Windows Azure and the way we run software plus service is about to become the next generation of the internet platform and will help businesses to strive through these troubled economy times. And I think the investment, again, that we heard this morning are about to be done here in Serbia, are building the right platform that in the next years we can establish the software plus service platform here in Serbia as well. From our side, from Microsoft's side, we're committed to do these investments. And that's why we are quite proud to have a very capable team here in Belgrade that is helping us to make software plus service become a reality here in Serbia. Thank you very much.